I'm going to show you how to set up a Securely Classroom with specific students. So I'm in the Launchpad and I click the Securely Classroom icon. Now, when Securely Classroom opens, mine may look a little bit different than yours. And so I'm hoping you can see at least enough of these to be able to create your own classroom. You might have to give a little give and take here because your screen may look a little different than mine. So when it opens up, I'm in Securely and I am seeing classes, teacher tools. Mine shows Centerville Elementary, yours should also. So I'm in classes and I want to add a new class. So I click add, give the class a name and a description, and then I add teachers. So I'm going to add myself, put my short username in and press enter, and then I do a check. And I'm going to add another teacher so that I will have two teachers. Stay in the little white here because if you go out here and click off of it, the white window will disappear. But scroll down. So I'm using my two fingers to scroll up and down on the mouse pad. And you can't see it from my screen because of the recording, but right down here, this button says Add Teachers. So once I have the teachers I want, I click Add Teachers. And you can see the two teacher names have been added. I have to make sure that I save this class now that I have that part set up. All right, so I'm going to give it a second name because I practiced earlier and save. Okay, now I'm going over here to import because I have the class, but I haven't imported any students yet. So I'm going to import. And this little tab should open up import from Google Directory. So I'm going to search for students by their last name. I'm going to search for that. Let's enter. And I'm going to choose Blair. All right, then I'm going back up here and I'm going to search for another student. For now. And I'm going to choose Emerald. Then I will search for another student, Badrowski, and enter. And I'm going to choose Ben. So I've chosen the children that I want. I stay in the white again and I scroll down and find the import button to import these students into my class. And you can see I have imported Blair, Emerald, and Ben into my classroom. So now I can go down to the teacher tools and start a class. So I'm going to click on teacher tools. You can see that was my other practice class. I'm going to use the Northfleet 2 class this time. And I am going to look and see, here are my students down here, and I'm going to start the class. Now this tells me that they are in another session. And so if I go ahead and start my class, it will take them from the session that they're in. So I don't want to do that unless I knew that the teacher had just left the session open and the children really were not in the class. So let's say that you know that the homeroom teacher had a class earlier, but the children went to PE and they came back, and you know that those children are not in class with the homeroom teacher. You could go ahead and do this. I'm not going to do this because I don't want to pull them away from their current teacher. But you will get a window that pops up that lets you set the time, and it lets you turn on whether they can chat or turn on whether they can raise their hand. And there's some little choices that you pick in there. So make those choices and save those choices and start your class. And then you should be able to see your students' screens from their class.